Welcome, everybody. Dr. Keith here. Hope you're doing well. Happy November 17th, 2021. How's everyone doing today? All right, this is being recorded. Just want to make sure. Carrie, good to see you. Gosh, we're even getting to the point now where we almost start saying happy holidays, right? Crazy. Jeez, oh, Pete. Oh, good to see you. JC, Daryl, Chris. All right, all kinds of familiar faces. Tom, some new ones. Who's this Rob Z? But anyway, hope you're all doing well. Ralph, good to see you. All right, so you should hopefully hear me okay. And hopefully you can see my Thinkorswim charts. All right. So what I wanted to do today is obviously kind of bring in an overview and kind of let you know what I'm seeing, where I think we're headed and so forth. You can see here, let me bring up the NASDAQ for right now. It's been, fairly flat today. Okay. Let me remove my old drawings. Okay. So, again, one of the beautiful things about a trading system having rules is that it really helps you in making decisions, right? You don't have, if you have a trading system that you're like, well, maybe I should, or this may be, what that's really saying is you don't really have a trading system, right? Now, even the best of us doesn't mean we don't break some of our own rules, right? But then at least hey, I broke some rules. So again, during this long play with this NASDAQ, right? You can see how these Hakanachi candles continue to drive higher. Finally, as we continue to new highs, right, we then had this small retracement, okay? But the beautiful thing here is you can see here, let me just blow it up. Our friend Laguerre here and Hakanachi turn back to green, right? So if you're just following the simple rules, sorry, I'm moving this around so fast. If you get in on the green dot down here, you exit on the red, you made 80% of that entire move, okay? Then when it goes back to yellow, back to green, there's a potential new entry, okay? So the rules are pretty simple and highly effective. And you can look at anything and pretty much decide at that point, hey, is it time to get in or out of a trade, okay? The S&P. Right, same thing, same exact thing, okay? Now, what about gold? So I'm in a futures trade right now of gold, okay? And you can see here, the cloud turned green back in October, and it stayed, except right here, it stayed green. So the bias is to the upside, right? Now, granted, usually October into November can be more bearish than bullish. So it was kind of bucking that trend, right? But then we had the beautiful change back to the green dot here and off to the races, okay? Now, again, as you're managing a trade like this, it's very, very simple, okay? You got all these bottoms with no wicks, right? I call them flat bottoms. Very, very bullish, folks, okay? Then we have this indecisive candle, okay? With futures, it's a little bit different. So, I got in, I ended up basically putting my stop now after making profit target 1 right here. So it came close. It never hit my stop, okay? Now I'm looking ahead higher, okay? Now today's more of an indecisive. We may be at a short-term top on gold, okay? But until I get a red dot, I'm either going to get stopped out at my visual profit target, with a nice win, or I'm going to continue higher I'm going to let the red dot tell me what to do. Okay. So again, I just wanted to stress, if you have rules, you shouldn't be tossing and turning at night. Man, what do I do? Okay. All right, bonds. So bonds, as I blow up the chart again here, you can see we're going back to a red cloud. We typically bottom right around December on bonds. Okay, so these flat tops in this case are saying bonds are heading lower. Okay, I won't be surprised at all. Won't be surprised at all if it comes right back down to this double bottom. Okay. We had the Laguerre trigger right here. The cloud was narrowing. Okay. The nice thing about a trade like this, which I didn't take this one, but the nice thing about a trade like this is you can put your stop either right above this wick, or if that's too much risk, right above this cloud. Okay. So you could put a stop, you could put stop right there. The tighter the stop, the more times you're going to get stop out. But when you get the runners, right? Then once you get the runners, you can stay in them much longer. Okay. Okay, so the dollar index. So you can see here on the dollar index, again, the cloud's been green entire time. But the beauty is then, you know, if you got in at the Laguerre trigger long, okay, you had your stop below here, it was a good trade. But if you're in the trade, again, the toughest part about trading isn't your entries, in my opinion, right? You can use different oscillators and so forth. Is how long do I stay into the trade? Because you want to maximize those wins. Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. Okay, there's no reason to exit this trade yet. It may be today, tomorrow, a week, a month from now. We don't know when that's going to be. Okay. Let me give you an example. Or not Best Buy. Shoot. Or yeah. What? Let's see. What was it? BB? Is it BBY? Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm talking about. Let's say you wanted to get into Best Buy. Okay. So you got in, the Laguerre turned back up. You had a green Hackenacci. Let's assume you got in right here on this flat bottom. Okay. So let's say you got in at 111 bucks. Okay. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay. So you're in at $111. Good for you. It keeps going up, right? So how many of you said, oh man, I hit 120. It's time to get out. I made a good profit, right? And you did make a good profit. But as I say over and over again, why get out if you don't have to? When you can beat the market, beat the hell out of the market, right? So again, did anybody see any red dots yet? You don't want to give up these profits. If you're giving up these kind of profits, to me, that's just like a loss, because you're not going to hit every trade like this, but you get a few of these a year, folks. Okay, I get emails all the time from people saying, Dr. Keith, look at this trade. Fantastic. It was very easy to stay in this. Okay. The cloud's also widening. You see that? Okay. Best Buy is going to probably continue higher. But if and when we get a red dot, we're still going to make 80% of whatever the entire move is. I think we'll all take that, won't we? Okay. So sometimes you got to change your mentality, folks, to say, you know what? We've all done this, right? I made enough on this trade. I'm getting out. Well, why? And then when you get a loss, well, I'm just going to hang on a little bit more, right? No. Get rid of your losers. Hang on to your winners. Okay, that's exactly what you need to do. Okay, so anyway, I was looking at this Best Buy. I didn't take this because at the time it didn't have enough seasonality for me. But my point is, it's very easy to manage once you're in it, right? Any questions on that, let me know, okay? Okay. One of the things I've been eyeing on is palladium, okay? Like gold, it's starting to head higher. Obviously, palladium has been weaker, okay? But here's what I like about it. We have a lot of room to the upside now, okay? So you could literally move your stop down right here. And as long as it doesn't come down here, you can hang on to that, okay? Now, I know a lot of you aren't futures traders. You would have to trade like PALL, which does not have options. You have to trade the stock itself, okay? But these are just some good risk reward opportunities with a good seasonal move coming on palladium, okay? So just food for thought on that. You know, I like to give you a few carrots, right? Okay. Those of you that have my data mining, you know that Amazon typically heads higher, and of course it is, but it's very expensive as well. This thing will be hitting new highs this year, folks, still, in my opinion, okay? So we will probably between now and December 31st, test those new highs on Amazon. So if you have a bigger account, you should take a look at Amazon. So Nvidia, we have earnings coming up after market today, okay? Be interesting to see what happens with Nvidia. Been a phenomenal move, obviously. But again, if you took this trigger on the Laguerre or you waited for that cloud to turn green and you have a green dot down here, you have your entry. Again, let me blow this up for you. Not every trade is going to be like this, but you'll get plenty of them. If you got in at the green dot and you exited on the red dot, you made, in this case, more than 80% of the move. You see what I'm saying, though? That's how you build wealth. Because you could have said, hey, I made enough. I'm getting out at 246. No, don't do that unless it tells you to. Look at all of these flat bottom candles. Look at them all. Don't get out of that, folks. You're never going to pick the exact top. But if you can get 80% of whatever that entire move is going to be, do it. So what am I doing now? Am I looking to get back in? Yeah, we'll see after earnings clears. If I get another trigger, I'll be right in, okay? Same with Tesla, right? Richest man in the world sold some of his stock, went down. Now look at the opportunity brewing right here. Flat bottom, the Laguerre's curving. I know what you're looking at, Bob, right? There we go. Back to new highs soon, okay? Beautiful seasonal move. Again, I know these are more expensive stocks. They don't have to be. This happens to be one. But I'm just showing you that here was my plan. Okay, not to short this, right? So again, let's look at the dots. Okay, red dot, green. You got the Laguerre. If you got in right here, look how much money you made till you exited right here. Okay. Now we have a plan to re-enter here. We're just waiting on our rules. Okay, an aggressive play would be tomorrow. We'll see if that Laguerre can kind of sneak out, but we like to see a green dot to get that re-enter. Okay. So I really wanted to focus on some of the basic rules. Pizza, right? Those of you that have been following me for a few years now, right? Every year we make money on Domino's. Last year it took longer than normal, right? I think people were using DoorDash over Domino's, 30-minute delivery, right? But here it goes again, right? Look at that beautiful seasonal on Domino's. You can try Papa John's, some other things as well, okay? But as a rule, okay, Laguerre triggered. You can wait if you want until the cloud is green when you blow it up. Okay, but again, if you got in here, my point today is this. Should you have exited yet? Do you see a red dot? No. Doesn't mean you can't take part of a position off, right? But if you got out at 494 and now it's at 530, you just gave up a shitload of money, right? So David, I will enter on a green dot, even if the cloud is red, if it's converging like it is here. You see how it's getting very, very narrow? In a perfect world, the cloud stayed green, it retraced, then the same thing happened, if that makes sense. But yes, in this particular case, okay, when you have the Laguerre triggering and the cloud is almost converging, that's good too, because again, where would my risk? The real question should be, this is my risk right here. If it comes down and breaks below that, then I'll get out because I can get right back in, right? Low risk, huge reward opportunity, knowing domino statistics from my data mining, right? Docu, sure. I love DocuSign. I see where you're coming from. So let's look at this. This is a good test experiment here. All right. So we're looking at DocuSign, and the cloud went from red to green back to red. Now, the first thing is I don't have seasonal data, right? But forget that for right now. We have earnings on the 2nd of December. So if you're going to go into this trade, you plan on staying in earnings, which I'm saying you can't. There's risk is because there's earnings. So me personally, I wouldn't be trading this right now because there's better ones out there that you don't have to worry about earnings, okay? But let's forget that for a minute. So this is getting smaller, absolutely. We got a flat bottom. So if and when this Laguerre comes out, this could be a good opportunity for you, okay? Again, not enough seasonal data for me, but my stop would be right here, okay? So if it goes against me, I'm out. But if it doesn't, you have all kinds of room to the upside, right? You have all kinds of room up to here. So if you got in here, here's your risk. Look at the potential reward, okay? Patterson, you have to ask the tough questions, don't you? Boy, oh boy. So Patterson asked a great question. So with using the Laguerre, with using the Magic Cloud and Hackenacci, right? Those are my 3 go-tos. What counts the most? Well, let me show you what I mean. I'll show you my perfect trade, okay? Let's go back to Tesla. I think Tesla anyway, let's see here. Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing up Tesla is very simple. Look at this cloud, first of all. It's been green forever, right? So let's just call it green until June of this year, right? So the overall trend is up. Okay. So what do I look for when the trend is up? I look for chances to get in when you have a retracement, right? So let me blow this up again. Okay. I'm sorry I keep doing that for y'all, but so where are the opportunities? Right here, the Laguerre didn't quite dip into the green, but we got a red dot and the Laguerre is heading up and then we get a green dot. So right here is a good entry because the cloud is green, you've got a green dot and the Laguerre is up. So they all kind of can count, right? Now, in a strong trend, here's another one where the Laguerre came all the way out, green dot, green cloud. It's meeting all 3. So to answer your question, if you have all 3, that's a perfect opportunity, right? What else do I like about this trade right here? My risk, put your stop right below that wick there, right? You had a really low risk trade on Tesla and you just made yourself enough money that you never have to work again, right? Now, when you have cases though, in all seriousness, by the way, look at that Ford trade. I didn't trade it. I don't trade Ford. It doesn't usually move. But see how that cloud has stayed? So you had green, then you got out right before earnings. It turned red. Then you can go right back in. See, you get right back in on that Hackenacci. Okay. So they're all important to a sense that a lot of times you're going to get the Laguerre turning, Patterson. Okay. And then if you have a red back to green, there's your entry because you have flat bottoms as well. Okay. So very simple. But my number 1 trade is when all three are triggered. Okay. Great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. All right, so what I wanted to do today probably won't be too long because, first of all, let me tell you a couple of things, and then I'm going to show you something pretty cool. Let's look at the SPY, okay? So we already talked about this, but folks, if you go long Thursday night or Friday morning and you stay in until next Friday, right through Thanksgiving, the market's almost always gone higher. Go back and look at your charts. I mean, I'm talking incredible odds, okay? So again, I'm not telling this as trading advice to go risk your mortgage. This is for educational purposes only, right? I got to say that. And you also don't know, maybe it's only moved 1% this year. Maybe it's going to move 5%. Maybe it's going to move 20. We don't know. But all I'm saying is that if you enter at the end of this week, Thursday and a Friday, and you stay until the end of next week, you're probably going to make some money. Okay? Probably going to make some money. So don't be surprised when all of a sudden, late in this week, early next week, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the markets are higher. Okay? Okay. But you got to be smart about trading or you're not going to be around, right, to trade. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to hit new highs in the next week. One thing we didn't talk about yet is oil, which again, you can use USO as an ETF. So crude, again, has been staying, the cloud has stayed green. It's just getting ready to go red now with a flat bottom. So what's going to be interesting is who's going to win the battle here. Is the Bollinger Band going to hold like it has here? Okay. So what I'm looking for is I'm not going to short oil right now. And if it keeps going, then I missed out and I'm okay with that. Okay. What I'm waiting for is the turnaround if it happens. Okay. The next Laguerre trigger, green Hackenacci, cloud is at least narrowing back to close to green. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So again, I have easy rules, in my opinion, that I know that. Is it easy to say, well, I should go short on oil? Yeah, but remember what you're doing? You're fighting this massive uptrend. Okay. And so you can do that. And you may even make a few cents before it turns around, but I'm just going to wait at this point. And if it continues down, that's okay. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to show you here, not that, let me get rid of that, is you should be able to see my bulls list here. Okay. So what I did, if you can't see it, let me know, but you should be able to see it. Okay. A couple of my very, very bright new clients, well, not new clients, but good friends as well, was doing some research. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do an October research to kind of see what happens. Okay. So what I did, folks, is this is less than 20-day trades. So you see number of days. These are all trades that last less than 20 days. Because I know a lot of you like shorter term trades. Okay. And what I did is I sorted by October. So all of my data mining, less than 20 days, I sorted by October. The criteria was at least a 9% move. Okay. At least a 9% move. So these are all of the trades for October that are less than 20 days with at least a 9% move. Okay. I didn't filter any of these out. Okay. I didn't filter anything out. Now, what I want to do is I want to go through each of them. I already did this. I want to do it with you all. So let's go over the first one, MTD. Okay. So if you entered, I put the lines in here for you. If you entered on this green line, they're all then exiting on the red line. Okay. Just the statistics on this was if you enter on 10-12 and exit on 11-8, it's made money 22 out of 23 years, right? I think I've talked about this one in the past. So another year, another dollar. 22 out of 23 years, though, 96% accuracy. Now it's going to be even higher for next year, right? Again, just by looking at these data mining. FFIV. If you enter on the green, exit on the red, it's another winning year. Okay. What was the date? It was 10/25 to 11/4. It's made money 18 out of 21 years. Okay. So these are some pretty short-term trades you can do, whether you're doing the stock, the option, okay, with unbelievable odds. And you'll notice some of these are within earnings because, yes, companies play games with their earnings. Okay. JKHY. So if you entered on the 12th, this green line, you exit on the red line. This is the one trade out of, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12 trades, I think it is, that would have lost money by exiting on the exit date, which is right at earning. Okay. Yes, it was making money. Okay. So you may have put a break even stop, but again, let's just say this was a loss, a small loss. Okay. So 164, 161, let's call it a $3 loss, let's say. Okay. So that one wouldn't have worked out per se based off the entry exit dates, right? SIVB. And again, this is recorded and be sent out. You can look at this for next year. Okay. If you entered on the green, exit on the red, the data suggests 83% wins out of 23 years, another winning year. Okay. Some of you may be asking, why am I going through all of these? To sell you a product, right? Not really. The reason I'm going through this is because people always ask me, especially as I get new potential customers, mentorships, how can you really assure that there's money to be made in the market? And I said, well, I'm only looking at things that have those high probabilities, okay? The reason why these work is because the institutions, the banks, they buy these year in and year out during these time frames, okay? So it's not that difficult. The difficult thing is getting this information, okay? Knowing how to mine for this. That's the real difficult. Here's one, XLNX, another one. Enter here, exit here, okay? And to Patterson's question, why do I love this trade? Again, you could have went in early, but just showing you the enter exit dates. Look at that Laguerre. Green dot, green cloud, flat bottom green. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay? Doesn't get any better than that. Then, by the way, this thing has made money 83% of the time during this window from green to red since the stock's been around. So of course it's going to make you money, right? Just a few more, folks. MS. Here's an entering here, exiting here. You see, not the biggest win in the world, but it counts as a win again, right? Just by exiting at the dates, okay? PH, Parker Hannifin. Enter here, exit here. This has worked out 17 out of 21 years, okay? 17 out of 21 years, make it 18 out of 22 years. So I'm always talking about the data mining greater than 20 days. The less than 20 days, if you prefer shorter term trades, is absolutely good opportunities for them. SBAC, you enter here, exit here, another winning year. Yeah, if just by going off the dates, you took a little bit of heat, then wham, before you know it, you made money. 3 more. HOLX. This has been around 26 years, folks. Okay. This one is still going on. You enter here, you exit on this red dot or red line. See, I love my dots, right? So what are the odds of this going up the next 2 or 3 days so that it continues to make money, right? I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. But that one's still TBD. It's TBD. Okay. KLAC. Enter here, exit here. Okay. And let's be honest here, folks. Okay. Does that mean at the exit date, when you have a flat bottom with a green thickening cloud, you should probably exit this? It means you don't have to. right? I'm just showing you the entry and the exit actual dates. Certainly, this is what I'm talking about. You don't want to exit this trade until right here. Okay, worst case. We still don't have a red dot though. If you wait till the red dot, you're going to maximize that. But these are just windows that it's gone up year after year after year after year. Okay. And one more, CNC. If you got in here, you exited here, it's made money almost every year it's been around. Okay. Bam. Okay. So again, when I'm looking at my data mining, that's the less than 20 tab. You can then sort by every month, every percentage and all that. And then you're only looking at the best of the best, right? You're only looking at the cream of the crops throughout the year. Okay. Again, my main goal of these webinars is to educate people that do not believe in seasonality, have not seen my data mining sheet. Okay. All right. Any questions? You want me to look at anything? Yeah, let me look at SNA. So what I like about SNA, we had a flat bottoms here, okay? And this particular trade, the clouds widening, and it's part of that data mining, okay? So between now and the end of the year, Snap-on goes higher almost every year, okay? What else? Anything else? Does the green and red line show up on the chart? So when I was talking about, you know, like MTD, I had just manually drawn these. Yeah, I drew these just to show you visually so you didn't have to turn your head sideways. Yep. Yeah, the whole point of that was just to show you that there are stocks throughout the year. In fact, most stocks have a pattern, and there's some that are incredible odds. Okay. Some stocks have gone higher during a 30-day window, folks, 30 out of 31 years. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at Shopify. Yeah. Okay. So Shopify has a 5-year pattern. Okay, it doesn't have 10 years yet. In fact, one of my clients is in this trade, but it basically tops in February. So yeah, I mean, the clouds widening. If you were in this trade, certainly stay in it. Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. During the next bullish week that normally happens, I suspect we'll continue to hit new highs in Shopify. Okay. It typically tops February. Let's take a look at SQ. SQ typically starts moving right around mid-December to the upside. Okay, so we have a trigger today and a green Hackenacci dot. The cloud's still pretty thick though, and the seasonal really starts end December. So I would hold off on SQ for right now. Okay, there's better ones out there, right? That's why. It doesn't mean it won't work. It's just there are better ones out there. But if you do take it, have your stop right below this wick right here. Okay. Yeah, you want to look at a 5-minute chart? Sure. Let me bring up my 5-minute. This is just my paper trade 5-minute account. All right, so today, let's bring up the NQ. Sure. Yeah, because you know Hackenacci and Laguerre works on all time frames. Yeah. Yep. All right, so sorry, I'm not sure what just happened there. What the heck did I do? Let's see. No. What did I do? Well, let me bring it up. Let me change this to a 5-minute. What I just did. All right, so 5-minute chart. All right, so 5-minute chart here, you can see market opened up, what, 9:30 was right here. The red back to green was right here. The cloud was thinning, and your stop will be below this wick. Cloud stayed green, and then you got your red dot. Actually, right here, you got a red dot. Then you go back in on the green dot. Then you exit on the red dot. And if you shorted this, right, then you wait for the green dot to get out. And now we just had a long trigger 3 bars ago on the NQ. Granted, it's 1:30, not usually a great time of day to trade. Okay. So you usually get on the 5-minute, depending on the volatility, 3 to 5 good solid trades a day on that. Okay. Okay, let's bring up back to the dailies. What else we got? Anything else? So again, main focus of today was this. Bullish. So look for bull moves in the market. The next couple of weeks are pretty bullish, folks. So again, do not get aggressive as far as risking the house. Okay, but as you see opportunities based on the trigger system, you should feel pretty good about it. Okay, this is the time of year we should all be making money. Okay, look at today's candle on the NASDAQ. Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. I mean, this is exactly what you look for. So, you know, I suspect we'll continue to hit new highs going through next week. Doesn't mean it'll be every day, obviously, but I am expecting some bullish movements. If you have any questions on it, let me know. Yeah, I'll definitely in the recording, you know, I'll put in the data mining link. Yeah, let me see. I can find it for you here too. Hold on 1 second on that, and I'll answer the other questions. Let's see. Found it. I'll put it in the chat, but it'll also go out in the recording. There's no worries there. All right, so there's the chat. All right, so yeah, Nugget. So I love Nugget. I need a retracement now. Sorry. Right, because I took the futures trade. I didn't take the options play. So all I'm waiting for on Nugget now is give me at some point a retracement, and then I'm going to go long. Right. So what does that mean? Let the cloud stay green. Let the Laguerre come down. If it doesn't come all the way out like it did here, you know, that was then another really good entry, as you can see. But if it doesn't, let's say it goes halfway, as long as we then have green dots, that's your new reentry. Okay, so I'm just waiting. Yeah, just patiently waiting on that. Yep. So for the Thanksgiving, I mean, you can look at any of them that have seasonal moves. Okay, what I'm going to do probably publicly on Thursday or Friday, I'll probably do something simple on the SPY. Okay, but you could do the same thing on, you could do an Apple trade, right? You could do a, you know, Amazon trade. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the statistics are based off of the S&P. Okay. Let's see, MCRB. Let's take a look. So I don't like the seasonal on MCRB. I would leave this alone. Okay. I mean, unless you just want to buy it and hold on to it, because it certainly has a lot of upside. Not something I'd be interested in to long play for sure. No way. OMF. OFN short. No. See the seasonal on the 5-year? This thing is probably getting close to a bottom. Okay. Probably getting close to a bottom. Now, it only has 5 years of seasonal though. So 10 years is better, right? But I definitely wouldn't want to short yet. I think you'd want to get a retracement before you were looking to short, but I would just stay away from it from the short side. Okay. Sure. All right, folks. Well, again, have a great holiday. Reach out if you have any questions. I'll send this recording out probably tomorrow morning is when it'll be ready. And I look forward to talking to you in a couple weeks where we will see what the markets actually did, right? And most of us won't be surprised more than likely because the market should be higher, okay? All right, well, again, hope you enjoyed. Hope it's worth your time. I appreciate you spending the time with me every other week here, and have a great Thanksgiving. Take care, everyone. Bye now. See you, Phil.